welcome. My name is Big from Fantom Watch, and we have a special AMA with WOLFLAND Games. And joining us from WOLFLAND Games is Whisk, also known as Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi everyone, guys.
One thing that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going through a live walkthrough of Fantom Wolfgame Reborn. On top of that, you're going to be going through some of the new features that you guys have added into the game and things that you maybe are planning to add into the game. Before we get started with the actual walkthrough, for the Fantom Watch AMAs, we like to start off with rapid fire questions to get to know the team behind the games or the NFTs. Whisk, if you don't mind, just kind of sharing a little bit of your background, where you came from, how you got into Fantom, and into Fantom Wolfgame Reborn.
Yep, absolutely. Let me start. So I've always been in IT technology and built my career in IT technology for now about 20 years. I've been consulting different companies in how technology can transform their businesses and build my career from like starting as a business systems analyst to a project manager, a manager, and then like a consultant helping out other companies. And I think the main quality I have is like to understand and to bring a new ideas and new technology actually to life and to usage, and how to find the good usage for these new technologies and everything. And I was always interested in trying something on the edge, like something really new, something people don't know much about. In the blockchain space, I started some experimenting in 2013, and I think at the time I didn't know about Bitcoin at the time, unfortunately, but I read about a bit about cryptocurrencies. And no, actually, I actually knew about Bitcoin at the time, but I have a tendency to choose the projects that are not yet that famous, and Bitcoin was already quite famous at the time. So I think I looked and bought a bit of XRP, like a Ripple one, and I thought, okay, there is a chance that it will go up significantly, maybe 100x. So I just invested like $40 into this one and forgot about it. Yeah. So that was my first experience with crypto, and then I forgot about it for a few years, and then I was too busy doing different stuff, moving country and everything, and then get back into the crypto when it started to get a bit more usage. It was end of 2017 with more or less Ethereum. And from that time, I really started to get invested into crypto more as a user, like to try out things, to invest into currencies and everything. But I was very busy from my main job at that time. I was doing a lot of consulting, and just busy doing that. But at that time also I looked at different communities, and they were very mature. A lot of different moon boys playing there. Like, it wasn't really at the level where you can build a full-time career in this one and build something. I saw like probably not wasn't the right time. But then about a year ago, I looked again at everything that's happening now, also from like a development perspective, and yeah, definitely now is the time to build and time to invest fully into this one. And that's how we came into the space. So about 6-7 months ago, I was playing in the original Wolf game.
I remember that game.
Team, we just yeah, and then it was actually a relatively simple game, but it was a very interesting concept of things that can be done in future. And I looked at the roadmap of the game, and that was quite exciting. So yeah, I invested a bit into the game, was playing in it, and then I think when the bear market starts, even before bear market starts, the original developers of the game just left. Not the Wolf game, but the Fantom Wolf game, which was a copy of the original Wolf game. They just kind of left because nothing else they copycat and do. And I looked at a great community that was there of the players, but the quality of development was not good, and the team basically abandoned. And we decided, look, it's probably our chance to get into this play, just fix a few things there as we initially thought, and yeah, try to see if we can recover the community and build up on the roadmap that was created before. And yeah, that's how we started there. And then our architect looked into the things and said the code not looking good. There are a lot of issues, a lot of difficulties to do it. Let's just start from scratch and let's just build something based on that, but from scratch. And that's how we entered into this new game, Fantom Wolfgame Reborn, or we now call it WOLFLAND, because it has nothing to do anymore with the old game. It's a completely new concept based on a few NFTs from old game. So basically, it has NFTs and it has absolutely new game mechanic that uses these NFTs. As well, it can be used any other NFTs in the game. You can partner with them. So I'm sorry, it's probably a bit long introduction.
No.
That's how I came into this one. And all team members say they came from real, about say 15, 20 years experience in real development and engineering. So I think we are really strong in engineering part, but we do need help to get more into the crypto world, right? To know more guys, especially on the marketing side, because we are builders, we know how to build, we can build, just give us difficult tasks, but then in crypto,
Right.
marketing is everything. So we need to learn how to do it properly, we need to share. We can build a lot of quite interesting stuff and challenging one, but just need players, interests, and yeah, that is it.
When we have a fun game, people are going to come. If there's a way to make money, especially in crypto, then people are going to definitely come. I think one thing that I do like is that, yeah, you guys have completely changed the game up, or it's not the same game as it was before. This is truly, it is, much different than what the original Wolf game was, and I can tell that you and your team have put in quite a bit of effort to try and change it up, and not only that, but add in additional features to make it improved. Because the original Wolf game had all the multiple different issues and faults with it, and it's good to see that you guys are active and you guys are in here trying to make you know a game for everybody to play. So we got a couple quick questions. Can the game be played on a cell phone?
So it can, in theory, but people play, and actually quite many players doing it on a cell phone, but some functionalities just not as work as well, right? So you need to adapt it. But many of our players actually use it. So
Right.
there's no specific restriction why you can't do it. Yeah. Now, if there are more players, we can have a specific testing for the cell phone build. At the moment, we don't test specifically for cell phone, but people play on it.
Yeah.
UI allows to.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's all possible then. Okay, so before we dive into the walkthrough, a couple rapid fire questions for you. Okay, what's your favorite food, Whisk?
I love Italian food. I think pasta bolognese probably the best one. I can eat a lot of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm struggling working home.
That's good. That would have been a better question. What's something that you can eat that you won't ever get sick of and just keep eating for the rest of your life? But okay, so bolognese.
Exactly, yeah, that's the
What is if you could go anywhere right now in the world, where would you go to?
one. Probably to north of Italy.
Oh, okay.
Maybe south of probably north of Italy. Place it has amazing nature and great architecture. That is Italy. I moved from Europe to Australia 7 years ago, and I really miss my short trips to Europe. Yeah, really north.
Nice.
Travel there.
Okay. Well, you're making North Italy sound like a destination that maybe everybody here should go and visit for sure.
Oh, definitely just get the car and go there. That part of Europe is just
All right. All right. Okay. So, what is your favorite color?
don't really have that. You can change that. Probably.
Hey, nice. Yeah.
Oh, I can actually like, I think it is purple, but I don't know. I'm wearing now like a yellow jumper, and I just love it. So who knows?
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting, interesting. Hey, you know what? Yeah, purple's a good one. Yeah, Frogwell's in the chat saying, Big asking the real hard questions. We got to get things warmed up a little bit. We got to get things warmed up.
Yeah. I think I'm already sweating.
Okay. Last.
Like it's difficult questions for girls.
Right. Okay, so last one. Before we get into the walkthrough, what is your spirit animal? What animal? What animal?
I think it's actually like a sheep, because when I was a kid, I had that very nice like a blue sheep, or how the male sheep is called. I don't remember, but it was like a male sheep, and yeah, I just love them. Love sheep. It's nothing to do with the game. Actually, it has to do with the game because I was looking at that and said, "Oh, I love sheep, so let's buy more sheep."
Wow, that played in so well. And I'm always curious about that, just to see, what people say. Yeah, what is your favorite color? No, not too many people ask that nowadays. Or what is your spirit animal? I think Limit Break said recently, um, in an episode of NFT Hunters, he says his was a grizzly bear. So you get to just see where people are at, and things like that, and it's interesting to see. Okay, so now, we got all those hard questions out of the way. Let's talk about the Wolfland game, and let's get into this walkthrough. Show us everything that's going on with this game. How do we get started? What do we do? What are we looking at here? Run us through it.
Okay, let's go for it. So, as mentioned before, it was originally the Wolf game, and who is not familiar with the original Wolf game, it's basically like I'm not going to open it even here. So basically, you have two types of NFT that you can mint: a sheep and a wolf, and then NFT sheep you staking and they producing some wool, and wolves basically can either steal sheep at the minting, or they can take some tax. I think it was 20% of tax from the wool is produced, and that's about it. There's nothing literally was any more than that. So but that was a good roadmap of farms, the land, and everything can be done, but that's never have been done in the original game. So a new game is probably taking this concept one level further, or maybe more than one level further, because we've built a land and everything that to use there. And let me just go do a walkthrough. Let's say as a new player, if you bought a piece of land first, and what then you can do with this one. And Big, I hear some comments there, but I could not see them because I'm all now in a walkthrough. If there is any particular questions or somebody saying they don't hear me, please, like signal me somehow. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, and I'll let you know if there's any questions in the chat.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I created a new account, absolutely one. I loaded with a bit of a Phantom, and I granted one piece of land here to show. So typically you start with the page, initial one. This would be initial page where you start. It shows like the logo of our partners, Phantom Lords, because we like very strong working with them together. And then it shows you your flock of sheep and your pack of wolves that you own. So at the moment you see this account is empty, no sheep, no wolves. Now, in order to start the game as a landlord, as a big player in the game, you need to buy land. So one option is you buy the land here on the website, and the current price for land is 250 Phantom. But for this account, we already specifically get the land. So all you need to do here now is settle. So let's start with settling the land. Now, before I click the button, what settling the land means? In our game, we have a map in hexagonal map, 120 hexes by 120 hexes, and it has 400 farms that already established in different locations on the map. And each farm is basically 7 hexes. One main hex we call barn, and 6 hexes around it with different levels of fertility and different levels of capacity, how many sheep you can stake. So in order to have a farm assigned, you need to click the settle. Basically, settling the land is a random assignment of one of the farms that hasn't been settled before for the player. So this is a pure like at the moment. I have no idea where this land is going to be for this new account and how good this land is going to be. So that's what we are trying to do. So we're settling. Now we're waiting for operation on the blockchain. The whole game and everything that happens in the game is completely on chain. So there is nothing that happens off chain. You can use it through UI. You can completely play it on a contract side. So you don't even need to do UI in order to do things here. Of course, it created many limitations here. So we probably could do many more things and features, but we limited to on chain. But I think being on chain is extremely important, right? Because every player who is here actually own things. They own the farm, they own the hexes, they own every NFTs here. There is nothing outside of the game on any servers that we have where we can just take it away, right?
Right.
Pure.
So just to jump in right there. So the first way to get started is you could buy a piece of land, and that's what we're doing right now. You bought that piece of land, and now you settled it. So now you're gonna, take a look and see what kind of land you got.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we did it. So now we're going and looking at what land we have. So it's number 391. So now you can see here what this land has. So as I mentioned before, it has a barn and it has 6 hexes around it. So we can see that 3 hexes are of type desert. Then we have 2 forest hills and 1 forest hex. And then we can see also 1 level of hexes around you that you can buy. So some of the players who are familiar with the station game, this is similar concept, right? So it also has hexes and you also can extend. So once you bought the land, you can also extend the hexes. You can buy it either for Fantom or for our internal currency BWOL, and you can buy more hexes and you can expand. There is no limit how many hexes around you can buy. So you can buy 6 here, and then you can go further and buy more and more. But in order to avoid taking over by the big players, we have a price of the land increasing every time you go in one circle up. So for example, this piece of land with oil on it, you can buy for, let's say, 30 Fantom. But if you want to buy the farther away, it will be like 60 Fantom, 120 Fantom, etc. So the price will double every time you go. So that's the land we got. It's not a bad land. It has 6 working hexes. From fertility point of view, I'll go into it. So that's the first step. So we got a land. Now, we have a map here. If you click here on the map, you can see the full map of the game and where other players are. So we can see here that this is our place, our piece of land. To the north of us, we have a lot of desert here, and we do not have any players. And we can see that it's already the north of the card, because we have 120 hexes, so there is nobody else on top who can attack us, for example. But we can see that there is a farm on the left to us, there is a farm on the right to us, and on average quite many farms.
So you can tell it's a farm. You could tell it's a farm by the grayed out hexes right there, pretty much, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So it's basically the hexes that are bright. It's unused hexes at the moment that can be bought. you can grow. The gray hexes is farms, existing ones. Now, some of the farms already own, some not. So this farm is not owned by anyone, so we cannot do anything with it. Like, it's just not bought yet. This farm is also not owned yet, but this farm, yeah, also not owned, but this farm definitely owned by someone. Yeah, 371 owned by someone. And you can see it also purchased some of additional hexes. So this way you can see other players. Now, the map, because it's quite big and we don't want to read a whole blockchain of the map, we split it into 12 pieces. So this is 1/12 of the whole map. It's a particular region when you have. So it's split basically in two left and right, so 60 hexes across, and then 6 pieces by 20 hexes in vertical size. So if you go left here, we can see that there is another piece of map to the left of us with other players. So there are more farms in here. And then there will be 6 pieces down there. So the map is bigger, and you can operate on a whole map. You're not restricted to this particular size. But majority of the players will be playing with the farms nearby, because otherwise it would be quite a long travel time to go between them. So that's the first piece. So let's say as a player, we bought a piece of land, we settled it. Now we need to understand what should be the strategy. And there are multiple strategies for the game. We also publish them like as a Medium articles, but let's just go through. So let's say I bought the land. Now, the second thing I need to do, I need to basically start staking on the land. So when you click here in the staking, it's currently staking version 2. We just recently moved to a new contract for staking that is improved. All of the players already moved there. So you can see that here you can scroll between your farms. At the moment we have only one farm, 391, and it shows all of the hexes on the farm. So it shows you a barn, and it shows you the hexes. So each hex is a different terrain type, and different terrain type has different levels of fertility, different levels of capacity, different levels of defense capabilities. And they also can produce different type of resources in the game. At the moment, we only have sheep staking and producing wool, basically. So it's only about fertility. So we can see that this hex is basically, it's called hills, forest hills. It produces fertility at 125%, so a bit higher than average fertility level, but it has only capacity for 2 sheep. So you can only stake 2 sheep maximum on this hex. On the other hand, there is a desert hex, which has only 50% level of fertility of a regular one, but it has a capacity of 5. So you can take more sheep here.
Oh, okay.
Then we have another type here, which is a forest, which has again a capacity of 125%, sorry, fertility 125%, and capacity of 3 sheep. So probably if you have only 3 sheep, it might be a good idea to stake them on this hex.
In terms of fertility and capacity, so that's what we're looking at. We really want to look at the capacity as to how many sheep you can stake on that plot, on that hex of land, and then you want to look at the fertility. But what's the best hex, or what's the best type of land? What's the highest fertility that we could potentially get?
Mm-hmm. So the best type of land is called, from fertility perspective, it's called plains with lakes. I can show you how it looks like here. We can try to find it on the map. It's quite rare on the map, but we can see it. Let me find. Yep, so that's the one. So it's called plate. So it has 200% fertility. So it's double fertility with 5 capacity. So if you have 5 sheep working there, then they produce a lot of wool for you. There is also another type which has a higher fertility but lower capacity, which called like a magic with white, forest with magic vibes, which gets like 250% fertility, but only a couple of capacity, so lower capacity. So from overall yield, this Plains Lake is the best hex to have.
Okay, okay. That's a good thing to know for everybody right here.
Yeah. Now, because of a lot of functionality that we build and a lot of strategy, I tend to find that not always the best hacks for you is the most happiest for you, because like it's like in real life. Yeah, so let's say you own a beautiful piece of land, a very lush one, but there are a lot of other players who want to take advantage of it and attack you and everything, right? So you own something nice, but you also have to defend it. Otherwise, like, everybody looking at this land and like, can I attack this piece of hex, because it's probably the best one for me to attack. So a bit later I will go for this one.
Gotcha.
Once we release this attacking functionality, to be honest, I would tend to put something in like maybe even in the desert, because I know nobody going to attack the desert or mountains. Who is going to search for the sheep in the mountain? So it's kind of becoming a bit interesting one from the game perspective. There are a lot of things to play, a lot of different tactics. Nobody knows what's the best. I cannot even say what's the best tactic. It all depends on who your neighbors, how much fertility you have, etc. So that's I think the game dynamic that's now brought in. So shall we try to stake something?
Sounds good. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. So let's say you start and there is no sheep, so you need to go in a shop and buy some sheep. There are a few ways you can buy. The simplest one we've built is a shop where you can basically buy a ship directly from our sales queue, sales contract. This is a standard price, 20 Fantom per ship. It has many ship in the queue. It shows on the next 10 of them. You cannot choose, you have to start from the first one, but at least you can see what kind of ship you can get. Who familiar with the old Wolf game? We intentionally did babies in a similar graphic as the old game, with actually same traits, but our artist Joe, he aligned, like he changed the form of the ship, but he kept the same style of the traits. So when we initially did the transition, right, we did it through the breeding of the old NFTs. So we took NFTs from the old Wolf game, and we bred them together, and through breeding they were killed, but they produced a hair, which is this kind of new things with randomly chosen traits from the parent. So it's a bit of a genetic algorithm. It was here, people were playing with. So now you can see these babies here. So these are the babies produced from the old Wolf NFTs. And we also can do it to any basically NFTs, right? So some of the things we did in this WOLFLAND game was for the purpose of exploring what's possible on the blockchain. So can we actually go and give some value for NFTs that we do not control, right? So we had no control over the contract of all the NFTs or anything, but we were able to basically use them and create something new. So we can partner with basically different NFT projects if we want, and can produce a breed some of them into something totally new, for example. So it's quite a fun.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Buy. Let's say we want to buy 3 sheep here, 20 Fantom each. So it will be 60 Fantom. We'll buy it. Now, since this is centralized, we give it to the seller here, because it's not developers selling the ship, it's anybody, any players can sell here. So the 15 Fantom will go to the seller, and then the 5 Fantom will go to our developer. This is the quickest way to sell, because you can do it in bulk. So for example, I have 3, I can just click approve them and then put into the queue. So that's the easiest way to sell. Also, since this is NFT that you own, you can basically go on either PainSwap, or you can go to NFT key and you can buy. So on PainSwap, some people selling them cheaper, some people selling them may sell a bit more expensive, so it's up to the players. And it's also there is NFT keys where you can see listing.
That's good.
The ship.
Secondary market. Yeah, you can go ahead and
so
pick some up.
First market or secondary market. Whatever people prefer. Now we do have free ship. Now we can stake them. So we can choose the place where we want to stake. Now, before we go into staking, the way that players can get more ship, there are two ways. The player can either go and buy them from PainSwap or NFT key, or players can breed them. So there is no minting. Minting is finished, basically. We actually never did minting here because it was a transition from the old game. It was always breeding. So in order to produce new baby, you need to go and breed it. So that's where we built this breeding functionality, where you have a male and female sheep, and you can breed them together. So in order to breed, you need to provide two parents, and you need to stake them. We now changed the game dynamic. We made it faster, so it's only 1 day staking. So you need to choose a male and female, and they will produce a hair in 1 day. They will be staked in the contract, so you cannot use them for producing beewool. And you need to pay for staking in beewool. So the current cost for staking is 36 beewool. So if I want to stake these two guys, I basically need to buy beewool. We selling it at the moment in Beethoven. Whoever knows how to get directly into the Beethoven now, please let me know, because I think they changed some UI. You now need to type the token ID here. But basically, let's say we want to buy some beewool, we just type in it here and import it. And now we can buy a beewool for Fantom. So today's price for beewool is like 9.4 beewool for one Fantom. So if you want something to breed, it would be like 37, like 4 Fantom for now, so quite cheap. But this price will go probably up because we did some changes in the dynamics, so the beewool production is a bit lower. So that's how you can basically buy a bit of a beewool.
Nice. Yeah, you can buy it. And Beethoven's probably the best place to get it over Spooky Swap or anything like that. They have a little bit better to swap over there, or preferred. Okay.
Preferred is Beethoven. We do have a Spooky Swap as well, liquidity pool there, but I think Beethoven uses a balancer version 2 and the Spooky Swap using the old Uniswap, and there are just not many things you can create with liquidity pool there, so we're a bit struggling with the Spooky Swap to incentivize properly this liquidity pool, which we can do at Beethoven. So yeah. So basically now you can see there is a 37 beewool, and if I want to breed these guys, I can just choose. I'm just loading males and females, and then I can choose which one I want to breed, and will pay 36 beewool. So I can breed these guys, or I can breed these guys. Probably get some beautiful. And of course I would need to approve NFTs. So breeding contract would require approval of male, female NFT, male and female NFTs, and beewool.
Okay.
We have 2 NFT contracts, one for original NFTs that were brought over from WOLFLAND Games, and then the second when we babies. So that's why it would be 3 transactions here to approve old baby NFT, new baby NFTs, and beewool. I'm not going to breed because it will stack them for a day, and I want to show how to stake them here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but once you breed, there is a page with claiming where you can see. Actually, I can do it, and then I can take them out. So let me show how to do it. So this is how we can breed confirming transactions.
You never know if anyone's looking for like a certain sheep colorway or feature. If you breed them together with a specific feature, is there like a percentage that you get that specific feature, or is it just kind of all randomized?
So it is taking feature from the parents, from male and female, and then, for example, let's say the gray fur and white fur. So there will be 50% chance the baby will get gray fur and 50% chance the baby will get white fur.
Gotcha.
The same with the hat, right? So it will be either this hat or this hat.
There you go. Okay, got it.
So you can create genetic particular babies you want to have. So let's put them in a bit. And some of the furs are rare. For example, there is a survival fur, which is the baby with a chunk of it taken out by the wolf, and it was a rare fur. So we provided some additional functionality for this particular fur. So it's a rare one, and it gives you some additional ability which other sheep do not have, which is quite fun. And therefore, some of the breeders, some of the strategy to play the game is actually to breed some rare type of sheep, for example, or wolves, and then sell them on the market. So that's another way what you can do, right? You can become a breeder. So you can see here there is a pair of sheep that will take 1 day to claim. So once breeding is finished, you can claim your baby and you take them. Or I can just withdraw them without claiming the baby, so I can still use them, but I will lose the bee wool that I already had. But yeah, so I'll just withdraw them at the moment. So that was to show how this functionality is going to work. Over time, what I noticed actually that if you breeding with your own babies over time, the face is becoming very similar, you know, like in real life. You just use the same genetic pool,
Right.
and all of them becoming very, very much alike. So it's better to mix different genetic pools here to have fun when testing babies. So let's stake.
Okay.
So we have 3 sheep here to stake. Let's basically, one option we just go here. So we're choosing the best fertility, 125%. 3 of them we can just stake here. It's one option. Another option, we can split the stake between different hexes here. So let's for now split it. So let's put maybe 1 here. We'll just approve to this staking contract. Let's put 1 baby in here.
Okay.
So that would be 125. So the speed of production, we lowered it a bit in order to control the supply and demand of bee wool. So at the moment, 1 sheep producing half of the bee wool a day. So this is a bit higher fertility, so it would be producing about 0.6 bee wool a day. And then, yeah, once you can share the sheep as often as you like.
Okay, that's good to know.
But yeah, and then we have 2 others here that we just taken on this land.
Okay, got it. So we're staking our sheep in order to produce bee wool, and we can use bee wool for a number of things like breeding and even purchasing. I think you purchase more sheep, right? Using bee wool.
That's right. No, you cannot purchase sheep for bee wool. You can either breed sheep for bee wool. I think I didn't stake it. So you can either breed sheep for bee wool, or you can purchase hexes of land for bee wool.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
So these are the 2 things at the moment that we can do with bee wool. And then going forward, we'll produce more functionality for using with bee wool.
Nice.
So the demand for bee wool would be higher. Yeah. And bee wool at the moment is the only in-game currency that is available for through liquidity pools. So many people, what they do, they basically just producing bee wool and then selling it on the market. Kind of a simplest strategy to do. So here we staked 1, and then in the forest we staked 2 more. Now this is like the first part of functionality, which probably was quite similar to what was in the original, right? Except the land. So in original game you had a ship and you could just take them somewhere and they produce wool and that's it. So now the main differences are, right? So we introduced land and now we have wolves. So what wolves are doing? Wolves are basically attacking your hexes, and they basically can steal your wool or can steal your ship or can protect your hexes. So the first thing, let's buy a wolf, because I think we need a wolf here. So in order to, for example, protect the land, I would need to have wolves to protect my barn and to protect my hexes. At the moment it's unprotected. What it means that other players who has wolves and who figure out, okay, I'm probably gonna try and attack someone here in this particular hex. If you're unlucky, they can get in and steal your ship. And if the hex is unprotected, the wolf basically taking all ship instead of the player for this period of time that hasn't been shared. Or wolf can decide, I don't want to take shear, I want to steal your ship. And they can basically, with chance of 25%, can just steal your ship and then attack if it's undefended. So it is a good idea to defend.
Okay, so you can use a wolf. You can use a wolf to pretty much defend your property, protect your property.
Yes.
So that way, if another wolf comes up, you know, it can protect the house. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody getting through here, or at least cut down the percentage of them actually getting in here. So okay.
Yes, so you need to have wolves to protect as well as to attack. So let's go on paint swap. Let's see if there are wolves available. Because we do not have functionality to buy wolves here. It's all through the players and through breeders. There is one expensive wolf here for 1,000 Fantom, which is like A8 wolf. The wolves has alpha levels from A5 to A8. The differentiator here, like A5 has no crown, then A6 has oh, that's expensive. The six ones has a blue crown, A7 has a golden crown, A8 has a golden and red crown. They have a different strength level, etc. But yeah, I'm not going to buy expensive. I just go for the simple one. So let's just buy typical wolf price for the simplest one. A5 is about 40 Fantom. So let's just buy it.
Okay.
So we're buying this wolf. Yeah, just getting it.
Nice. Shout out to Paint Swap.
Quite. Yeah. That's a paint swap. We can buy it here. Yep, all good. Also, we can buy it on NFT. So another option is to go to NFT key and to buy. And you probably already in your tracker can see the paint swap still happened. We can also go to NFT key and buy, but there is no wolves here to buy. So wolves are in demand, I think, last time. You can see there is a survival ship here.
Oh wow!
The ship which chunk out of it was taken. It's a bit more expensive than regular one.
Oh,
so
that
regular can go for 15 to 25. This one is.
Oh, is that the survivor skin, right there?
Yes, that's a survivor skin.
Ah, okay. And so, is it right where the survivor skin, they can't? Can they be taken from wolves? Can they be stolen still, or they're safe?
So that's the main difference between them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If regular sheep can be stolen from you by a wolf, then survivor could not be stolen.
Oh,
the
okay.
wolf can still shear them. There's no difference, but at least it cannot be stolen from you. So you kind of invest a bit more, have a peace of mind that at least it could not be stolen. So then the player decide what they want to do, like buy a bit cheaper but with the risk of being stolen, or just get a survivor once.
Whisk, we have a question in the chat. Is the higher level the wolf, the better it is to attack or defend? So
yes, that's exactly right. So we have a relatively simple formula for the fights. We basically has a strength of wolf, and then we divide in the strength of wolf by the sum of strength of him and opponent, and this will be the percentage at which the wolf can win the round in the game. And we're doing best 2 out of 3 rounds to identify who is the winner. So for example, wolf a5 without crown, which I just bought, it has base strength of 15. Then wolf with a gold crown has base strength of 25. 25. And then the wolf a8 has a strength of like a 30, base 1. So there is a difference in. Oh, sorry, it's now. So this base has 10. Then with the blue crown has 15. The gold one has 20, and the gold with red has 25. But this is not the only difference between wolves. So there is another difference between wolves I will just share about. So let's say we bought this wolf, that's a5. So a5 wolf and a6 wolves, we call them like a lower tier wolves, like a basic soldiers. They could not defend or attack the barn. So they cannot defend the whole barn and attack a whole barn. They only operate on hexes, on individual hexes. So I can basically stake this to protect individual hex or attack individual hex, but I cannot protect the whole barn by these wolves. And wolves a7 and 8, which is a gold crown or gold with red, they operate on both hexes level and the barn level. So if you have a very good barn, for example, like very good land with a lot of hexes and everything, you probably want to protect it as a whole, and then you need to have a7 or 8 wolves to have this protection. So in order to show you this dynamic, I'll just want to go on the map and show. But I hope that answered the question, guys, that there is a difference between strength between the wolves. Also, there is another parameter that we use called experience. So the more wolves fight, the better experience of the wolf becomes. Every win of the wolves gives them experience points. And experience points are added to their strength. So even if you start with, let's say, a small a5 or x8, and even if you're probably going to lose first games with it, it will start every week. So that's why, like, the more you play in the game, the better your activity assets become. So this wolf over time can become more powerful one. It's 1751, so it probably already had some experience. Actually, I probably can have a look at this. Just give me a second.
Wow. So there are levels to this thing. You could, so many different strategies and things that you can do. Even just like.
We saw some brutal things here in the game already happening.
Oh, really? Okay. So just to reiterate, the only way to get a wolf is to buy it on secondary.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Right. Yeah. We're also doing some promotions and giveaways, like participating in marketing, promotions, and everything. You can, but basically, it's a secondary market, and then you can breed them, right? So once you have 2 of them, you can breed them.
Oh.
Have a look at this wolf.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's 1751 wolf. Let me just see if it has any experience. 0 yet. So probably person is selling it because it lost its battles. So 0 experience this wolf has. So a new one. Now let's try and see what we see on the map and who we can attack. So this is our barn. We can attack with this wolf any hex anywhere. But the farther the hex goes, the longer it takes for wolf to travel, and we set up 2 hours of wolf's time per hex. So the farther, the longer. Also, you cannot attack empty farms. So this farm is not yet used. And I think this farm also, 390 farm, is empty, so not used. Now let's see this farm, 374, also not used. Let's see. Okay, this one is used, so 371. So this farm is used by someone, so we can attack. Now, I don't know if it's defended or not, or if there are sheep or not. There are ways you can read it from the contract. If you have some time and knowledge, you can do this thing. but this is quite advanced thing you need to do. Or we will release soon functionality of like a scouting subscription, where you can pay on a monthly basis in Bewool, and it will be revealed to you if, for example, this hex has anybody in there, so you can steal or you can. Yeah. So for now, it's going to be a blind play. If I'm going to win anything or not. So I need to choose a wolf, and I can choose here what I'm going to do. Do I want to share or I want to steal? So the sharing is if I'm going here and I'm winning the game, winning the battle, or there is no protector, I'm taking all the Bewool that has been here before, and then it just started accumulating again. Or if I'm stealing, then if there are more than 2 sheep on the here, I have a chance of 25% to take the sheep from this player.
You said something.
There is also 25%. Go on.
You said something interesting there. If there's 2 sheep or more, then you can steal. If there's only 1 sheep on the plot of land, then you can't steal that. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. So we build a protection in place for small players. Basically, if they just start in small with a few sheep there, we don't want them to get too much frustrated by losing their only sheep. So we are not allowing to take the last sheep on the hex. So each hex should have more than 1 sheep for you to be able to steal. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Nice, nice.
Like, the way to protect the player. Yeah.
That's good. Let people build up their sheeps, right? Let them build it up. Build up their Bewool, start breeding and stuff like that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, so here we can see that it takes 20 hours. So basically this hex, if I attack it, my wolf will stuck there for 20 hours. So let's go and attack. I have no clue what's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure since this farm, this hexes has been bought, probably it's used, but probably protected. So let's just see what we can attack here. Can we share or not?
Oh, dun dun dun. Let's see.
Contract. Yeah, we didn't build specifically here animation. We're like operating on a relatively small budget. Yeah, so we won the game here. So now, yeah, probably the player thought nobody is going to attack this anyway. So now, in order to look at how much we won, either it will appear here or we can open in the contract. So I'm just looking at this transaction and I can see that, yeah, we earned 2.68 Bewool.
Okay.
Basically somebody, yeah, it's pretty good.
Hey, so you won. Good.
Yeah.
That's good. 2.6 Bewool. If somebody else had even more, Bewool on that piece of land or more sheep and things like that, then you might have won more. But it will pop up on in the UI as well. So you don't.
It will pop up in the UI. It will pop up here on the.
Oh, there it is already.
4.29.
Yep.
Yeah, it popped up. Yeah, and I saw some wolves taking like a 40 Bewool from the hexes. I think 40 is a record so far from the hexes. And
wow.
Somebody took more than like 160 from the barn. Yeah. And then you can see a log file here. We have a log of roughly 1 day log of all the battles that happened in the Wolfland. And we can see who was able to do what with other farms. And we see some interesting games happening here, like really wars between some of the players for domination. I could just show through this log. So the log basically showing you which farm has been attacked, which occur, and what was the result. It's probably not yet showing our attack. Oh, actually, it's showing here yet. So I attacked from farm 391 to farm 371 with my wolf, and I won here with this wolf, and I shared. And then I see some other player just after us attack from farm 93 to 114, tried to share. I'm not sure if they shared 1.9. Also a good result. And then we can see that some other player from 385 farm attacked and actually steal the sheep. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So actually it's still it, but the wolf ate it on the way back. So there is a chance that wolves stole the ship and then ate it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So you could try to steal a sheep, but the wolf might get hungry and eat it on the way back, and you might. So nobody gets it. Okay. All right.
Nobody
That's.
gets it. Yeah. So that's the case here. Yeah, and so some of the players were quite frustrated about it here. And we can see there is about 90 attacks happened past day, and yeah, quite a lot of them has been stolen. We saw also a few days ago there was a very big two players. I think one of the players diligently attacked another one, Hexes, stole like 3 sheep, and then another player was angry and 16 wolf to this player who attacked but got nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, well, and got nothing out that player before who did it actually removed their sheep from the farm and removed their wolf, like kept the wolf but removed the sheep. So basically, kind of, yeah. So they went back, but there was nobody. Another player was prepared, and then that player went again and stole another 3 sheep. So it was quite brutal.
Wow, that the strategy. This person was on it. He was like, or he or she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take everything from this person right here, and they didn't can take nothing from me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's right. And the funny part here that I think the player who was attacked was a player owning a lot of like A7, A8 wolf. Like it's a very strong. It's like a whale in the game. And another player was much smaller one, but they still, like, he or she still able to get good results out of it. So basically, because it's more like a strategy game, right? With some tactics, you can get from other players without them being able to much retaliate. So you kind of the better you play in the game, the more you can earn here or develop in the game.
Okay.
So with the same resources, with the same starting platform, one player can earn maybe like 100 B wool in a month, and another player can earn 500. With exactly the same starting point, just depending on how much they're exploring. Because their map is big, right? There are a lot of things you can try. So you can try to attack this farm, you're trying to figure out who is your neighbor, what they do, they share. You know, it's like when you do fishing as well. You need to know the good places and the good time of the day and everything, right?
Right.
Same here. So now the wolf attacked. The wolf now is stuck on the barn, staked on the barn for 20 hours. So I cannot use it for attack anymore.
That's good.
Or for protection. So now the baby wolf is stuck. So once again it finished traveling, I can use again it for something. So that's the main strategy for the game if you're big. Now I'd like to make one announcement here that so far we were able to only basically give ability for players who buy in the land to play, and this was investment of 250 Fantom plus at least like maybe 60 Fantom for ships, so it's like 300 Fantom is the entry. So now we are lowering the entry point, we're allowing a small player, we call little ships, to participate. So what we're doing for this one, we basically opening the barns of the players, of the existing landlords, to a new players. So we can see here that farm 391 is a barn,
Okay.
and this barn has a 2 capacity and 125 fertility. So I can open this barn for new players. I can set up particular interest rate, so let's say 25%. So what it means that whoever stake on my barn from new players will pay me 1/4 of what they earn in B will automatically. And then 3/4 will go to that new player.
Oh, okay.
Barn will be available for new players.
Wow. Okay, that's big. That's huge right there. Because that's the next thing, right? You know, one way is to buy the land, like you said. It could, it's 250 Fantom for the land, and then you got to also buy some sheep. But now you could just buy some sheep and stake it on someone else's barn and basically pay rent.
Just pay the rent.
Oh, okay.
So the fertility will be lower. Like of it getting stolen, but it's the way to start playing the game. And then when you click barn staking here, you can see all available barns. So this shows the land on which barn is available. So we can see that there is a barn on a desert, which gives you now only 25% fertility, but you can stake 10 sheep here, or you can look at somebody offering plains with 50 fertility and only 5% interest rate, so which is a very good, very cheap one. So we also have a competition between existing players. They can set up interest rate they want, right? So somebody may be more greedy, that somebody can say, yeah, I won't give more for smaller players. So the player can choose here. So this is, for example, forest capacity 6, fertility 62.5. So again, you can stake here. The places are limited for staking. At the moment it's 21 barn, and the average capacity maybe 5 to 6, so it's probably about 100 sheep can be staken, but yeah, we can always increase a bit capacity if there is interest. Even grassland, you see the best one here with only 30% interest rate, so that's a decent deal here that you can do. So new players can do it. So if you're a landowner, you cannot stake on your barns, but the new players can stake. So that's a new functionality now available. So anybody now who's having the sheep can now use it. That's our announcement. There is some more things we are going to build soon. We are going to allow breeding of wolves for basically by feeding sheep to them, kind of to increase it. Instead of a bee wool to do it. So we'll soon release a butchery here in the shop.
What?
So you can sell your... Yeah, it would be butchery here. So you can sell your sheep for meat, and then you can use the meat to feed wolves for breeding. It's another way how you can do it without... Like if you have a lot of sheep, for example, you stole a lot of sheep, you can quickly convert it into the wool by breeding.
You know what I like is that all the different mechanics that you guys have in play will, in a sense, control the population, or it'll also, you know, take care of the amount of bee wool that goes into circulation and things like that. Because depending on the strategy that people take, or what they want to do, it could have an impact on the economy itself. So it's interesting that you guys have all this different functionality that you guys are looking at. And we do have a question in the chat too. How long did it take to make the contract for this? Thanks for the question, Chris.
Yeah, so in general, one contract takes about a month, like 2 weeks development, then UI and test. It's probably about a month for like a main contract. But here we have about, I would say like, you can probably exactly. So we have 3, 4, 5. It's about 10 contracts. Yeah, we did some of them a bit faster. Yep. So I think it's now about 6 months development overall that we
Wow.
have. Yeah. So it's So there is quite a few contracts. So there is, for example, a map, right? It's a contract like the controlling of the map and the biomes there and everything. Then there is a staking contract, the main one, which basically combining your NFT and your map. And then there is a NFT contract, which allows you for the breeding. This is like ERC 721, and there is a ERC 20, a bee-wool contract. So there is a land attack contract. So there are quite a few contracts, and they are all at the limits. You know, like when the Fantom has a limit of how much the size of the contract can be, and this is actually what limiting the functionality, right? So we cannot do more functionality. This is just a number of lines in the contract is. In general, it's a few thousand, 5,000 lines. You can't just do any more there. That's a tricky part. So you need to find the balance between the functionality and also speed and also gas price. So we're trying to optimize it for gas price. At the moment, it's difficult to say because gas is very cheap on Fantom. Nobody is using that much. But if it goes again high, at some point, then the cost of gas would be important. So some of the functionality is probably better to keep simpler. But we're just trying to find the right balance, because it's a fully on-chain game. And this was always the idea, right? To create, let's create maybe a game with, like a civilization has a huge fun, but we cannot do anything like this on a block at the moment. But we can build something simpler, like Civilization 0.5, where you can play, but you still can have a lot of fun and a lot of strategies. And then the beauty of it that nobody knows how it's going to develop, right? So how players are going to be, what will become more important or less important for them. We only have some parameters. We can change a percentage of beewool production, or we can change a breeding time, etc. But it's affect all players, right? And we typically changing it only if we see and talking with the community what's happening. So recently we saw that the beewool supply becoming more than the beewool demand, and then excessive supply, people just selling beewool on the market, and beewool price will go down. So we say, okay, how we can fix this? We did analysis of on-chain. We looked at exactly how big is the difference, and we adjusted the numbers. So we lowered the production percentage, so it should be in line with. We lowered production, and we did some changes, like we increased the price of breeding and reduced the number, the time limit for breeding. So that allows to basically make it quicker.
Right.
Make the game develop.
And that's good. It shows that you and your team are looking at all the different things. You're trying to make it a fun game for people to play, and play for a while. And it's good to see how active you guys are. Definitely compared to the first group that tried to do a wolf game on Fantom. So it's good to see how active you guys are in making sure the game, is adjusted appropriately.
We really want to do some engine that then can be used by other games, or some ideas, and see how far we could develop. Because the thing is, with the games like strategic games, they're not typical multiplayer, right? You typically play them, or they might be multiplayer, but they're not long-term games, and they do not have their own world that you own pieces of. And here you do own. It's kind of interesting to see how far we can go. And of course, we met a lot of limitations of the chain things. But nonetheless, even with these limitations, I think the game is pretty cool. I enjoy playing it, doing some stuff here. So yeah, hopefully you guys can enjoy. And the more players we have, right, the more fun here, more different battles, the more different strategies, the better price of beewool. So some players can have fun attacking, some players want to grow out, some players want to earn some money, etc. And we have a good roadmap, strong one, to what to do next, with like having the farmers, having additional resources. We already know that the different hexes would produce different resources. We are going to introduce oil, ore, and gold at some point. But the key point now to have more players. The game is created for at least 400 players, but ideally maybe up to 1,000 to 2,000 and the smaller ones. And then once we close into this limit, that's where we can see, can we create a new world. So, but for now, I think we're still at about 1/3 of population. The game still has a lot of place to new players to go, and we catered for them, like due to the restrictions of how many hexes, the price of the hex and everything. We still allow new players now. If they come in, they are not late to the game, right? So you can earn. Very often in the game, what might happen, projects come in later, basically like already too late, right? The early movers got a lot of advantage. So here, the early movers got a land at a better price, of course, and ship and everything. But you still, as a new player, can develop quite quickly if you invest a bit, or if you just buy a ship, for example, don't invest, you still can develop over time. It will take long. You still can do it. So it all depends on how much you want to invest, how much you want to play, and your play strategy.
Okay. All right.
Okay, what do you think? Time for giveaway for the players who are still here?
Hey, if you're ready, I mean that was awesome. It was great to see you run through the entire game and show us pretty much everything that we can do. Definitely hyped about the new functionality for smaller and newer players to come in and at least get their foot in the door. Um, and then of course, hey, if you got the Phantom, go ahead and buy a piece of land. Yeah, that definitely makes some sense. If you want to play the game, love all the different strategies around it too, for sure, for sure. But
we have any QAs? Let me first announce what the giveaway will be, and then let's go for Q&A, and then after Q&A, if there are any more questions, we'll give it. So the giveaway today, guys, is going to be that exact farm that we just have. So farm 391 will basically identify the winner and these participants, and we'll send this token with the farm to the winner. And basically what it has, so this is farm, we have 3 ships staked on the farm, so whoever owns the farm, the ship will come back to this, so they own the ship as well, and they would also own this wool. So basically whatever we did today, except only the KB wool, which is belong to the wallet, everything else belongs to the farm, and
wow,
will be given away together with this farm. So the winner will get the farm, the wool from the farm, and the free ship.
before we do the giveaway, then let's go to the chat. Does anyone have any questions for Whisk? Anything about the game? Questions about the future? Tuho, yes, this was recorded. It will be up on the Fantom Watch YouTube. No problem.
Okay, we need to manually enter the name here, unless there is another easy option.
No, that's
Entering the names. 1066. GSL skip you or somebody here. Let's see
yep.
who else. Seplag 46. Nice. Let's see Cherry's Club.
Yeah, the wheel is definitely more fun because the other way would be we run the giveaway bot 1 minute for everyone that's in here, but
I don't know.
This is fun.
This one, but
yeah.
I just like this one. So we have crypto already. Rockwell. We have. Okay, Fantom Watch bot is not going to get farm.
yeah. That Fantom Watch bot, skip that guy. He likes to just run. He just runs the music. Does anyone have any?
Nice number of participants.
Does anyone have any other questions for Whisk? I'm gonna go ahead and post their Discord here, so you feel free to go ahead and join their Discord. If you guys have more questions about the game after the fact, or after the AMA or anything like that, you can definitely hit them up at their Discord, and they'll be able to help you there. And plus, too, you're gonna want to know, what other things the team is working on, what new functionality that they're going to be dropping. When is eventually oil and ore and all the different things are going to be coming out. But just like today, we got the information today. New players can jump in and they can stake their sheep on rented farms, pretty much. So, we have one question. Are there any plans to go cross-chain?
So it's not like a cross-chain, but it's probably we're planning to choose a second chain, like either probably Avalanche or Block or Binance Smart Chain, which is also EVM compatible, and basically restart game there from minting.
Okay.
Basically just get it. Yeah. Unless I know that Avalanche also had like a game on it, but I'm not sure how successful it is. Unless there is incentives to actually go and like do the same we did for this community with the transition from the old game. But yeah, so we're planning to go for either Avalanche or Binance Smart Chain at some point. So definitely yes, we want to do it.
Nice.
Farm. I think I didn't forget anyone. The rabbit is choose. Whoops. 46. Okay, guys. So
that's everybody.
You can see it, right?
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, you see this screen. Huh?
Let's do it.
This click. Let's do it, guys. Let's see.
Shout out to everybody that's been listening in from the beginning.
Okay. Wow, that's funny. Gamblon was from the beginning. Wow.
Well, congratulations, man. That's a big one.
Gamblon, congratulations to you. We'll need your any Fantom wallet so we can send it. So you can just reach out to me or to Big separately with your Fantom wallet. Just need confirmation that yeah you will be able to do it. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Very good. Very good, guys. So since we do have the new player functionality, I'm going to reroll it 3 times for new players here just for the ship, and whoever name will come here, we will send you 1 ship.
Oh.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So just see who is going to win. So now it's going to be for the ship, and then you just guys reach out to us. Yes, so to Hatters is the
of course it's Tuho.
First one.
Yeah, let's cut Tuho. Tuho wins the sheep.
Is very active.
Right.
Tuho wins the sheep.
I know. Oh, Sanaka. So close.
Yeah, okay, Budi wins the sheep. Get to us, and Gigur wins the ship. Okay, nice.
Hey, that's
okay,
awesome.
Guys, so yeah, reach out to me, and yeah, we'll give you a ship. Any other questions, guys? I think it was quite a long time I took, but I hope we went through a lot of functionality.
Yes.
Any other questions, guys? Anything you want to hear?
Whisk, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, Fantom Wolfgame Reborn. That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with the community and everybody, running through the game with us.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining. This maybe not the best time for you, but really thanks for joining. Any questions, join our Discord. Happy to answer. Any suggestions? Maybe you know how to do marketing better than we're happy to hear and see what we can do here. Yeah, so to be honest, I think we can do a lot of things in this space, so we'll just work together. Yeah, the more players we have, the more fun we can have. Okay, so please join us.
Beautiful. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you.